why does this keep happening? It's actually quite simple. First, people tend to underestimate the power that they have on the vehicles, and they tend to overestimate the type of assistance systems that they have when they buy a very expensive vehicle. And the one thing that's important to understand when you buy a very expensive vehicle like a Lambo or a Ferrari, you're not spending that money on assistance. Most people that buy those kind of vehicles, they want very basic assistance so that they can have the pure feeling of driving, that's what they became famous for. If you want so many driver's assistance, you can buy a Tesla. You can buy cars that are designed with computers to be very safe. These cars are not. And then the other thing you have to understand is how the tires work. A tire has some grip on the pavement, and that is the most important part of the car, because everything your car can do, all the work that your car is transforming into motion, will be translated into that motion through the pavement with the tires. So if your tires are not gripping, then everything the car can do is useless. Your brakes are useless, your acceleration, your turning, everything, your direction, everything is useless if that tire doesn't have any grip. And that tire has a limit. And that limit has to do with how much power, how much forces are being applied to that tire. And if that tire goes above that limit, it's going to start spinning. And once that tire starts spinning, you won't have any control, and it's going to start spinning faster and faster and faster every time, because there's nothing to stop it. There is no more friction holding it down. So you have to take into account of that. If you put too much power on that tire is going to spin. And once that tire is spinning, every little force is going to be acted upon something that has no resistance to it. So that's why the tail of the car tends to spin out. And the other thing is, why do the people end up in the wall and not just correct it like you see in the movies? Well, that has to do with our inability to predict what's going on. When everything that's happening is a surprise, you've never felt this before. You've never been out of control in your life before. Everything is a surprise. Everything is new. You're reacting to it. And you have to understand that your logical brain, the one that's making decisions, it takes too long. We have two brains, according to Daniel Kahneman, or two systems. We have the System 1, which is the heuristics, which is the really fast brain, and that is the one that's got to be acting on these type of situations. And then we have System 2. System 2 is your inner dialogue. That's a little bit slower, and it has to analyze the situation and how it's happening. But the problem here is everything that happened within a second. Your brain, your System 2 is way too slow. So if your System 1 has never experienced it, it doesn't really matter how many times or how I explain it to you. If you've never felt it, everything's going to be a surprise. You got to go out there and you got to feel it, and you got to go to a controlled environment and feel it, so you can build that automatic response into your System 1 that will immediately react to the situation. And the other thing is stress. You're not going to be stressed as fast if you've experienced that before. When it's the first time that's happening, your brain's going to go into overload and it's going to start trying to analyze everything that's going on. And by the time it made a mistake, you're already at the wall. So you got to train. Come meet us. We have several training programs that could benefit you if you're into that. If not, leave your comments, like.